Hello, how you doing? Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. I had the opportunity to visit with Jack Canfield last month in his home. You know Jack Canfield, the co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Well, I asked him a question on how important it is to reprogram your unconscious mind, which I mentioned in my book. Check this out. This is what he had to say. In your experience, what is the best way to reprogram your unconscious mind for success, and why is it important?
Well, I think it's important to reprogram your unconscious mind because your unconscious mind is basically running most of your life. I use the metaphor when I teach that if you have 85 horses pulling this way and 15 horses pulling that way and they're connected, who's going to win? The 85 horses. They're going to overpower the 15. And based on the research that most psychologists would agree with, is about 15% of our mind is our conscious mind and 85% is our unconscious mind. It's like that iceberg. It's underneath there. And a lot of it, we're not aware of it. That's why it's called unconscious. We're not conscious of it. And unfortunately, it's been programmed quite often by your childhood negative experiences, your parental beliefs that they had, that they passed on to you, that might or might not have been true. Like my dad, for instance, was not someone that believed you could ever be successful. One year, he sold Christmas trees, and at the end of he worked from Thanksgiving to Christmas. He made like $8.43 when he added up all his costs, and he went, I never get ahead. That became his lifetime story. Right. And so for many of us, it's not okay to touch, it's not okay to ask questions. I grew up like, don't bother people with questions. And I had to write a book called The Aladdin Factor, How to Ask for and Get Everything You Want to overcome that in my own life. Yeah. And so by bringing the conscious into consciousness, or just really reprogramming over it, we can't do that. It's important. And so again, things like affirmations and visualization, repetition, reading positive things, surrounding yourself with positive people, only listening to positive podcasts, positive radio, belonging to a church what's positive, like Joel Osteen's church, as opposed to a church that makes you feel like you're a bad person all the time. Right. So I think those are critical things that are important to reprogram the unconscious, because if it's running everything, for me, it's like reprogramming your computer. If you have bugs in a computer, you're going to get bad output. And so we see what's on our computer screen, but what's causing all that is in a hard drive. We don't see it. And our subconscious mind is like a hard drive. And you can tell how it's working by looking around you, because what you're seeing is your reality, your wealth, your possessions, your job, the people that love you, the people that are your friends, the problems you're having, the success you're having, is the screen. And that's telling you what the programming is inside. And for most people, unfortunately, what's coming up on the screen isn't really what they want. And so they've got to reprogram the hard drive, if you will.
Right. Well, there you go. You heard it from Jack Canfield himself. This is this week's Wisdom Wednesday. See you next week.